In the middle of a lush, whispering forest lived Alan the fox, who spent his days wandering the winding trails, nose to the wind, ears twitching at every curious sound. Alan had a favorite spot near the babbling creek, where wildflowers nodded in the breeze. He called it his treasure nook, where he kept odd bits he found, buttons, smooth stones, and pine cones shaped like stars. One crisp morning, Alan discovered a delicate, shimmering feather lying atop his favorite flat rock, glowing softly in the morning sun like it had fallen from the sky itself. He had never seen a feather like this, long and silver blue, with tiny glints of green when it caught the light. It hummed with quiet mystery, unlike anything in his forest. Alan placed the feather gently in his treasure nook and wondered aloud. "Where did you come from, little wonder?" His heart tingling with the thrill of a new mystery. The next day, Alan returned only to find the feather gone. Vanished! His treasures were all untouched, but the feather had simply disappeared into the forest's hush. Determined to solve the riddle, Alan set out on a quest, nose low to the ground, sniffing for clues, eyes scanning every branch and breeze for a flash of silver blue. He asked the old owl in the tallest pine if she had seen the feather, but she only blinked and said, "Feathers fly where the wind sings, young fox. Follow the music." Alan paused, ears alert, and heard a faint melody, like the sound of a flute played by leaves, drifting from deep within the woods where he rarely ventured. With courage swelling in his chest, Alan followed the strange tune through tangled roots and mossy stones, into parts of the forest where the air shimmered with secrets. He came upon a glade filled with tall grasses that swayed like dancers, and there in the center stood a hollow tree, its trunk split open like a doorway to somewhere else. Stepping inside, Alan found himself in a tunnel of light and color, spirals of greens and blues that pulsed like breath. His paw steps silent on the glowing earth beneath him. At the end of the tunnel was a clearing unlike any he'd seen, where feathers drifted like snowflakes and soft chimes rang from the branches. He had found the Feather Grove. A voice, gentle as a breeze, spoke. "Only those with wonder in their hearts may find what was lost here." Alan looked around and felt both small and honored. In the center of the grove, atop a pedestal made of woven branches, rested his lost feather, now glowing brighter, pulsing softly like it recognized him. Alan approached with quiet steps and reached out. The feather lifted gently into the air and floated down to rest between his ears, tucking itself gently behind one. The grove shimmered with warm light as if pleased, and the feathers around him swirled once before settling, the melody rising in a soft, sweet goodbye. Alan bowed his head in thanks, heart full of wonder and paws tingling with joy, and turned to walk back through the glowing tunnel, the feather still tucked gently in his fur. Back in the forest, everything felt a little brighter, colors richer, sounds sharper, as though the world had changed. Or perhaps Alan had changed within it. He returned to his treasure nook and placed a new stone beside his favorite rock, this one smooth and blue-green, a gift from the grove, to remind him of the journey. The old owl watched from her pine and hooted softly, as if to say, "Well done, young fox," though no words passed between them, just a quiet understanding. Alan lay in the grass and stared at the sky, the silver blue feather still tucked behind his ear, dreaming of places just beyond the trees where more mysteries might be waiting. The wind carried soft music through the branches, and Alan smiled, tail flicking with peace, for he knew some treasures weren't meant to be kept, only found and remembered. And so, in the heart of the forest, the clever little fox who once found a feather now carried the spirit of the grove with him, wherever he wandered, forever curious.